The terms prayer and meditation are sometimes used interchangeably, despite the fact that these two activities are actually extremely distinct in both their methodology and their goals. Both disciplines entail stilling the mind and focusing within, yet their primary attention and purpose are very different from one another. The purpose of this paper is to examine the fundamental distinctions between prayer and meditation, as well as how each practice can be utilized to foster spiritual development and overall well-being. The primary distinction between meditation and prayer is that the former is not predicated on a person's level of belief, whereas the latter does require some level of faith. Meditation and prayer are two practices that are central to the majority of world faiths. Praying and meditating both help you feel more in control of yourself and less stressed out. They also assist you in forgiving others as well as oneself. Even while the practice of meditation has its roots in religious traditions, it is now widely practiced across the globe by a wide variety of people, including those who do not believe in gods or an organized religion. This is due to the fact that meditating does not require any kind of belief. Prayer is frequently offered up for particular reasons, including to seek healing, protection, or comfort. It is also possible to utilize it as a sort of worship, in order to show gratitude to the divine or to laud them for their goodness. Those who pray on a consistent basis may have a greater feeling of peace, comfort, and hope as a result of their prayers, which can be a highly personal and emotionally charged experience. On the other hand, meditation is a technique that entails stilling the mind and concentrating on what is happening in the here and now. Meditation, in contrast to prayer, does not include connection with a higher force. Rather, the goal of meditation is to achieve a profound sensation of inner serenity and stillness. Several types of meditation, such as mindfulness meditation, loving-kindness meditation, and transcendental meditation, are all valid approaches to the practice of meditating. The primary objective of meditation is to develop a state of consciousness and mindfulness, the cultivation of which can result in increased self-awareness as well as inner calm and a reduction in stress levels. Meditation is frequently used as a method for achieving relaxation, managing stress, and gaining mental clarity. Also, it can be utilized to foster the development of one's spirituality and strengthen one's connection with the divine or the universe. Variations in methods. The practices of prayer and meditation are distinct from one another in terms of their methodology. Prayer is a form of communication with a higher power that can take place in either spoken or mental form. It could consist of reciting specific prayers or religious texts, or it could be more open-ended and impromptu. Prayer can be performed by a single person or by a group, and it often involves adopting particular postures or making particular gestures, such as bending knees or clasping hands. On the other side, meditation entails centering one's attention and stilling the mental clamor that may be present. Vipassana may require concentrating on the breath, a mantra, or a particular item. On the other hand, it may simply involve observing the present moment without making any judgments about it. Meditation can be practiced on one's alone or with other people in a group setting. It often involves adopting certain postures or positions, such as sitting with legs crossed or lying on one's back. Difference in goals. The primary purpose of prayer is to establish a relationship with a higher power in order to receive direction, assistance, or forgiveness. It is frequently employed for particular functions, such as therapeutic, protective, or reassuring objectives. The act of expressing appreciation or praise to a higher power through the medium of prayer can also be considered a type of worship. On the other hand, the primary purpose of meditating is to bring about a state in which one is more conscious and at peace with oneself. It is frequently utilized as a tool for relaxing the mind, reducing tension, and gaining mental clarity. One's spiritual development can also be enhanced, and their connection with the cosmos or the divine can be strengthened via the practice of meditation. To pray is to seek, to meditate is to accept. The practice of meditation is an art that does not aim to challenge, transform, or in any other way affect reality. In regard to the state of quiet, the primary goal of meditation is not to alter the existing world, but rather to gain a deeper understanding of it through introspection. Prayer is looking ahead, reaching out for change, and focusing largely on how one's circumstances might be improved in the future. This does not imply that meditation encourages a sense of helplessness or that prayer is unable to deal with the realities of life. Instead, it means that meditation does not question whether what is present is sufficient or not. Rather, it only works within the constraints of what currently exists. and that prayer seeks comprehension, protection, and blessing for what is on the horizon. Yet, prayer and meditation cannot exist without one another. To get where one is going, one must first determine where one is currently located. Alternatively, in order to get away from where one is currently located, one must be aware of where one is headed. Prayer is dependent on belief. Meditation is independent of it. The beliefs that Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and secularists hold regarding the world, what is true, and what is most important are all distinct from one another. They all pray in their own unique ways. Because people have such a wide diversity of ideas and traditions, their prayers will not only sound different and look different from one another, but they will also be fundamentally different. A person's prayer will change if they adhere to a different religious system. The practice of meditation, on the other hand, is universal and, despite the fact that there are a variety of approaches to meditation, anybody can benefit from the fundamental aspects of the practice. Sensation and perception feel different, because it focuses on the here and now and directs one's attention to the sensations that one feels in the body as well as the thoughts that are moving through one's head. Meditation is primarily concerned with the sensory capabilities of the human being. This inclusive dichotomy of ideas and sensations under the umbrella of sensation alludes to the essence of what meditation is: awareness of one's surroundings. Not only is it being aware of the voices that talk inside of one's head, but it is also being conscious of how one's body feels. Meditation can help a person become more aware of the state that their body and mind are in, from the aches and pains in their muscles to the stiff shoulders and shallow breaths they are taking. The somatic language is brought into the light and brought into awareness through the practice of meditation, which allows one to tune in and listen to the communication signals that the body is transmitting. The act of praying is similar to looking for a sign. It takes an active role in perceiving connections, responses, and voices that come from outside of one's own head. It is the feeling of being transported to another world, where one becomes more and more in tune with the divine conversation and the promptings of their own spirit. Praying comes naturally to young people, while meditation is more typically associated with adults. Prayer and meditation are two practices that require regular practice in order to become natural and proficient at them. Prayer, on the other hand, can simply consist of reaching out to a higher power, while meditation calls for increased sensitivity to the subtleties of both the body and the mind. Children rarely have the capacity to remain still and attentive in the same way that meditation does, and this is a prerequisite for practicing with them. Once a person has the capacity for speech and imagination, they are able to pray, regardless of whether they are making a request, expressing gratitude, reaching out to God or other gods, or reaching out to some other power. Prayer can be practiced by people of any age. In point of fact, it may even be simpler for children to pray, given that their capacity to connect with the unseen is significantly higher than that of the majority of adults. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.